Hello and welcome, I'm Mystical, this is Mystical Gaming. We're back in a Watcher Around, and I was asked just to go over this here, the Odyssey Quest. So I've pretty much completed it now on my on the global account. How am I doing? Here I am there. I'm 12. I could push on and do the rest, but I've got no real interest in doing that. So all I'm really doing is just waiting for the Tales of the Smith event to come along, and when these come along, I'm then just going to do up the gear, and I'll do it up slow time. I'm not in a real rush for the hero or anything like that, so I'm okay. But I thought it'd be a good place just to go over everything else and see what's changed, what's remained the same, and what we've learned on route. And we've learned loads of stuff, but we're put down at the end of this. There'll be there's a playlist of Odyssey quests I've done. As we go along, we'll call out the quests and that sort of thing. So the first couple of quests are really easy to do. It's just generic gameplay and nothing really you have to worry about, probably up until you can only do that once a day, the quest number 4, so just bear that in mind. The rest of it is just make sure you're cracking on with the faction trials. The trials you have to be going is the basic one, and then it's Piercers, Northerners, Cultists and the Infernals. So you don't have to do them all, but you do have to get a fair way into those 4, so bear that in mind. The only quest you really have to worry about at the beginning is dismiss one epic hero. So don't dismiss them when you're doing your summoning, and don't dismiss heroes that you want or you need for a fusion or anything like that. The game will warn you, but just be aware that you shouldn't do that straight away anyway. Okay, so that's the first hurdle, I suppose. And after that, it's just very much gameplay. Obtain 20 demon shards, nothing too tricky as you go through the bulk of it. Obtain 2 million gold, easily done. I mean, you can sell gear. There are events where you can buy gold, but I wouldn't. It's relatively easy to do. There are better things in events, unless you've got everything in the event and then you're just left with the buying the gold just to use up the last couple of event points or whatever you've got. But if you are where are we? Treasure hunt here. I haven't started the treasure hunt yet. I generally save up everything, so I'll be doing all of these in one go later, and then I'll use all the stamina in one go. But there are events like this where you would get gold from, so you might want to consider that. And then 16, just make sure that you've read this. It does say manually, so don't just chuck it on there on stage 10, hit auto and go for broke. It does say manual, so make sure you're aware of that before it comes round and bites you in the backside. Complete artifact forging, nothing great there. Equip 1 hero of 2 pieces of ancient gear. It doesn't say mythic ancient gear, it just says ancient gear, so bear that in mind. I think it's from stage 13 and above you get ancient gear, so any legendary ancient gear you've got loafing around, you can chuck that on a hero as well. It doesn't need to be mythic, and that's the same with having to farm the stuff as well. Nowhere does it say it's got to be mythic ancient gear. Stage 24, this is the first sort of stage. Right, clear any stage manually with a hero whose crit rate exceeds 100%. So I get one hero, I chuck on a load of crit rate gear on them, so I'll do crit rate first items a main stat, and then I will just chuck on any other gear with the highest crit rate on it, so I easily exceed the 100%. I then go to campaign and I do stage 1. It's nice and easy to do, and I clear out all the other heroes and I use the one hero that's got the crit rate on it, and then I go and do that. And that's the same for the other events. I think there's one for attack and one for crit damage, maybe one for speed. I can't fully remember. We'll have a look as we go through. But I always do campaign stage 1 and I use one hero. That's it, and it's done manually. Right. Win at the arena. Again, you've got the Cultists, Infernals. They're not massive stages. Friendly face-offs, nice and easy to do. Stage 29. Now 29, this is the first bit. So from stage 29 going on, we've got separate videos. So this is the one for stage 29. I'll link them individually in the description below. So I've done short little videos on stage 29 to so and so. I think it's 40 and a bit is the first one, but I can't quite remember. But the link will be down below. In fact, you'll probably see it here now. Anyway, so I'll overlay it. Now, it's not just the video that's good, but please do watch it. Give it a thumbs up, like, all that sort of good stuff, and subscribe while you're at it as well. So that's nice. Now, but read the comments below. Some people are absolutely genius and come up with some fantastic ways to solve things. So don't just watch the video, have a look down in the comments below, and if you think, yeah, I've done it like this, or I've got a good way to do it, just put it down in the comments below. I'll always read them, and I update a couple of other things as we go on as well, but it's really a nice way to help out everyone else who's coming up after you. Spend 1,000 stamina. It's just one of those things. You're spending stuff in the game, so crack on and do that. Right, sorry, yeah, and stage 29. Right, this is the first one, stage 29. Now, stage 13 and above gives ancient gear. You don't need to do the stage you're on. So if you're doing stage 19, you haven't got to keep doing stage 19 until you get a mythic ancient piece to drop. You can do, and then if you're going through it slowly, that's probably the better way to do it. You'll get better gear as a whole. If you're trying to rush through it and drop back to stage, I think 16 most people have had most success with, and that's because they're looking for ancient gear. So have a look at some of the levels below that drop ancient gear, not ancient, sorry, legendary gear, but it's ancient as well. And they get that, and I think it drops from about stage 13 onwards. Right, let's go and quick look now. Yeah, so stage 13 there, that is your first piece of ancient gear there. I think people have been having a success with 16, 17, yeah, maybe 17 actually. I think that's the highest chance you get of getting ancient legendary items, so that drops more frequently than if you're doing stage 19. Congratulations, but the chance of getting your mythic ancient is a lot lower, so bear that in mind. Now, the other thing to note about stage 29 is enhance any raw gear piece to enhancement level +8 without a single failure. What you want to do is get your gear that isn't leveled up at all and then auto it to stage 8. It's not that hard to do. You get it fairly early on, but there is one much later on that says do it to stage 10 or level plus 10 without a single failure. That's much harder, but still I would just auto it to level 12. I think most people have been averaging about 20 pieces of gear before that's come on and done for them. So there you go. Spend a load of stamina, make some purchases from the guild shop. You can purchase things, there's certain things that you can purchase 10 times or 5 times. They count individually, so don't worry about that. Own 10 epic demon soldiers and above. If you're doing guild wars, then that shouldn't be much of a struggle to you. Now, stage 35, interesting one. This is a really nice change. It says clear stage 12 or above in gear raid 3. Now, the other thing it says is manually and with marksman only. So get rid of all your roster, everyone in there. Just select marksman, put the marksman in there, and then go and do gear raid 3. It used to be gear raid 2, so that was much harder with marksman trying to get them in. But that's been changed now to gear raid 3, so that is a bonus for us. Okay, but bear in mind it is manual, so don't hit the auto button, otherwise you're going to be there for a long time and not getting anything. Then the rest of them again aren't too tricky. It's mostly gameplay type stuff, and you should be able to do it. 41, when you're up against these one that says clear a stage within a period of time, normally these are the XP farm stages. Have a look at champions that you would use in your AoE arena teams. There's a good base of champions there that get used up or bring up coins quickly for you, so you can get some good champions down there quickly. But again, have a look in the comments below of the video that goes along with this stage, and people would have put their teams down there as well. Also, there's a spreadsheet which we'll talk about at the end. That's got a couple of good tips on it as well. 42, same as stage 29, wasn't it? Stage 29. So again, one hero manually, strip all the gear off them, make sure their crit damage exceeds 300%. Use that one hero. Campaign stage 1, job done for you. Okay. Obtain 2 million XP. You can either do it slowly, or you can grab an XP bottle and go to the XP farm and just farm that straight up. But if you're going to the XP farm to do it all that stage, make sure you just grab the XP farm bottle. You may as well get double XP while you're doing it, otherwise it's just going to take a bit longer for you. In the video we'll notice that my potion drops off, so yeah, that's why I know. Now after that, what have we got next coming up? Right, number 46. 46 does cause people some problems. Eliminate 10,000 monsters. Again, look at the video. description below or just here, and then in the comments people have got some really good ideas on how to do that. So people use Tide, they use Mortal Codex if that's up, and then also someone was using the XP farm and they were doing that, and then towards the end they were just coming out of it so they didn't get charged for the stamina and then going back into it again. So there's lots of ways to do it, or you can just do it slow time, entirely up to you. But in the video comments there's loads of good teams out there, and again probably in the spreadsheet as well. So again we're on to stage 48. Now 48, clear any stage manually with 3 heroes who attack exceeds 10,000. So you get 3 heroes, get their stats to their attack to 10,000. Now quickly, if you're doing campaign stage 1, which is good to do, put them right down towards your end of the map so they've got time to come in and you've got time to get 3 heroes out. And then, yeah, you won't have any issues with it, but you might have an issue if you can't get the heroes out in time. That is the only problem with that quest. Participate in the arena a couple of times, or any stages. Here's the other one, enhance any raw gear piece to enhancement level plus 10 without a single failure. Just get your items that you're going to level up anyway, and then I would just level them up to 12 and then just sell the ones that don't work out for you. Essentially that's pretty much it. Look at it as a bit of gear cleansing. It doesn't cost that much because your reward is 1 million gold anyway, and you've probably used a bit of that, but by the time you sell all the gear that hasn't rolled up well, probably about evens. It's not that bad. Obtain 100 demon soldier. This is just long-winded. You'll get them from drops from either the gear raids that you're doing, or make sure you're doing guild wars as well, and you'll get a few more there. Make it nice and easy for yourself. Also, I think in the guild shop as well, you can buy some if you really want to. Now, moving on. Successfully enhanced gear 150 times. Nice and easy to do if you are doing gear to level 4. So again, just the gear that you want to level it up to gear 4, because that's guaranteed to level up to level 4. If you want to go on past that, feel free, but essentially you'll need about 38 pieces of gear. Will take you over the line if you're just doing them up to level 4, and that'd probably be your cheapest way to do it. And all the gear doesn't work out, just sell on again. Swiftly on, and then again we're back to clear any stage manually with a hero whose attack speed exceeds 600. So again, do the attack speed, 1 hero, put in campaign 1 just with 1 hero, and absolutely fantastic, you've done that quest. Get 20 arena wins. Well, that is what it is, isn't it? I mean, that would take you as long as it takes you. Maybe beforehand you might want to crash some of your arena points. Entirely up to you. Again, faction trials, but again we've gone over these. It's just these 4 factions that you really want to do. 2 pieces of ancient gear. Again, stage 17 I think, wasn't it, we said was probably better or easier. But if you've got time and you're not rushing it, I always stick to the highest gear dungeon, or yeah, the highest gear raid area I'm doing. It says excluding gear dungeons, so be wary of that. So yeah, the gear raids I'm doing, I just did the highest one that I could do, and I thought it would be the best gear that I would get. I wasn't really worried about doing it as fast as I could. So the other thing to bear in mind when you're doing quest 59 is just around the corner. Where are we? Here, quest 63. This will block you for a significant period of time. Achieve E or above rating for 5 different bosses in Immortal Codex. So that is 2 rotations, absolute minimum of Immortal Codex. So there's no point in rushing quest 59 to get it out of the way if Immortal Codex is a couple of weeks away. You may as well on 59 and just take your time and use your daily stamina on whatever Oracle's trial is going on for whatever gear raid it is, and see what happens before you think, oh, I desperately need to get there. If Immortal Codex is about to close, you might want to reconsider it, but have a look where Immortal Codex is, because quest 63 is going to stop you for 2 rotations of Immortal Codex. Okay, so bear that in mind. Now, once we've got that out of the way, and you've spent your 30 million silver, and you've equipped 1 hero, that is 1 hero, and all 5 of their slots have ancient gear in them. Okay, it's not 1 hero and then just put 5 different bits on them and then strip some off and put another 2 or 3 bits on. So to get up to 5, that's 1 hero with all their slots filled out with ancient gear. Okay, right. Then you're on to quest 66. Now it is about to be changed. This is going to come down to rank top 2 in the Oracle's trial 3 times. Now, separate video for this one just here, all on quest 66, and a couple of ways that people do it. What it comes down to for me is these ones here cost you loads of points to do. These ones here absolutely don't. So I would always do like the hero training ones and not the gear raid ones. But if you're doing the gear raid ones, then have a chat to whoever's first or whoever's pushing points on there to say, do you mind if I'm on this quest? And I should imagine most players will be fine about it. However, don't ask, you don't get. So as soon as you've got that done out of the way, or you sniped people and got that done, then you're pushing on again. And the other thing to bear in mind, so once we've done quest 66 and you've got that out of the way, you're then pushing on, but you need to make sure this is the other place you want to save for. Stage 15, that's manual, so make sure you do manually and without any heroes. Again, just remove everything. But quest 70, dismiss 20 epics. So save for quest 70 because you've got to dismiss 20 epics worth. Okay, so make sure that you've thought ahead for this. Don't just get there and oh, another stumbling block, another couple of weekends worth of summoning and hoping that I get epics that I don't really want or need, and then I can dismiss them. So bear that in mind. Then you're on again to quest 73. Achieve plat 3 or above. So that's come down. They changed that because originally that was Overlord. So you're even Overlord or Apex Overlord, but they brought that down now to plat 3, which is much better and probably more achievable for everyone else. Also, have a chat with your guild if you're struggling. Have a chat with people when it's rate up time, and if they find you, they can pick you out on an arena fight and lose against you if you've got some good guild mates and actually boost you up a little bit. So that is a possibility to actually get yourself a little boost there. If not, watch some arena teams. I found that was the quest I disliked the most, I think. And then onwards we go. Quest 75, achieve S or above in 3 different codex bosses. So you can do this in one hit. Not the easiest thing to do, but technically it is possible. So depending on how good or great your account is or what heroes you've got, because some of the codex bosses require quite specific heroes, you can smash this out. And that's quest 75 done. Not easy, not fun, but one of those things, and as this goes on, they do get progressively harder. 76, 1 hero, 3 pieces of gear, and Harmon level 16 from the following set, Invigoration. So by then you've probably got some people in 16 Invigoration set, probably not that hard for you to do, nothing too hard here. Gear raid 1 or team 20 pieces of Warlord. Yeah, just wait until it comes around in the Oracle trial, or if you're really going for it, just jump in there and farm away. Enjoy yourself. Knock yourself out. Again, it's another speed orientated XP farm. Have a look down. People have got some good teams out there. You know what you're doing. By the time you're on quest 79, you know how to clear these quickly. You know how to build your champions. Tide Wave done. Clear stage 18 artifact material raid. Yeah, you should be doing that. In fact, by the time you get to here shortly, hopefully by mid-October, you could be doing stage 19, 20, 21 is quite doable as well. And then you can join me up here. Sit around on quest 82. You can either take 100 million gold and just spam all your gear up to 16, or you can beforehand level loads up to 15, so it won't cost as much, but it's up to you. Up to you. I'm going to do it slow time, and as the Tales of the Smith come around, I level up enough gear. Last time it was 12 pieces of gear. That took me to the end of the Tales of the Smith event, I think, and I'll just do that every time. That's how I'm doing it. And if it takes me a few weeks, it takes me a few weeks. I'm not overly fussed, and then it'll all be done, and you'll have this champion. There you go. It doesn't get used massively all over the place. I think there is some Some people who are starting to use him, I think he's better than he was, but his ultimate doesn't really work the way I'd like it to. It says don't worry about range, and you really should worry about range because he does. I mean, yeah. Anyway, that's it done. The other thing to watch out for is I've got the spreadsheet here as well. I'll put a link to the spreadsheet on. Like to see that's got all the quests down there, and it's got whether they are retroactive or not. So a lot of the quests aren't retroactive, like dismiss your 20 epics isn't retroactive, so it doesn't take into account the fact that you've done all of this work beforehand. It doesn't just tick the quest off for you, you've then got to go and have the 20 epics when you get to that quest to dismiss them. So it's got a list down there of the rewards you get and super hints if other people have chipped some in. Okay, so at the end of this video, just above here, you will see a link to the whole playlist of what I've done with Odyssey Quests, and there's a whole playlist of them and chapters going forward and playtests on in it and all that sort of stuff. And then there's a link to the spreadsheet below. That's got a load of good information in it, and then also there'll be a link to the videos that you saw coming across here as well. So if you're on a separate stage, go and check those out. Also make sure you check the comments out as you go through them, and for the people who put the comments up there, could you give them a thumbs up as well, or a like, or say thanks very much, that's really helped me out. It'd be nice for them to get some feedback as well. Right, so that's it done. We just had a quick comment, could I go over it? And there you go, we've gone over it. That's everything to do with the Odyssey Quest trial, and all links, all information, you'll be able to smash this right out, all going well. Right, thank you very much for your time. If you've got this far, I definitely deserve a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, then please consider doing so. It's free to you, but would help me out massively, and it doesn't do you any harm, I don't think. Other than that, I'll see you in a video again soon. Thank you very much for your time. Cheers. Goodbye.